All right, everyone calm down. Everyone chill the fuck out. We're here. The boys are back, and we're doing another episode of Loud About Nothing. Okay? Okay. Everyone relax. It's me. It's your boy. It's the fucking hottest dude in the podcast game, okay? That thotty Bubati, the mogul himself, Sebi Chianti, Sebastian Canelli. All right? All right. Chill. Please, everyone, chill. He's here every week, and he is the fucking cutest boy I ever met, okay? He is the cutie patootie with that fat ass booty, all right? My nephew, give it up for Robbie boy. Robbie, say what's up.
What's up, Sebastian? How's it going?
This is nice, Robbie.
Yes.
Fire. We got straight fire, okay? I mean, this dude is an acting god. You know what I'm saying? He knows. I'll tell you this. Masterclass, they offered him if he wanted to do one for acting, and he said no way because he was $2. Okay, that's all I'm saying. He was a star of a fucking TV show. He was a star of the fucking Tick. I mean, like, unbelievable. You gotta listen to his podcast, Blank Check. He's also, I don't know the person's name, but he's on the George Lucas talk show. And you know what? I'm actually so proud of myself that I don't know his name, the person that he plays or whoever. Give it up, Griffin Newman. Griffin.
Thank you. A real badge of pride for you to wear that you don't know the name of the stupid fucking character I play on the George Lucas talk show. You appeared on the George Lucas talk show once as Darth Vader.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And I had no lines. This was the only way I think I could ever appear on the George Lucas talk show is if I don't talk. Because I know nothing about Star Wars.
To try to give this the quickest explanation possible of a very high concept show, Connor Ratliff, our mutual friend,
on the podcast, former podcast guest,
where he hosts a talk show in character as retired filmmaker George Lucas.
So funny. Check it out. It's legit. He's so funny. And I know
he's one of the funniest people on the planet. Yeah.
Your name is Nato or Nano.
Watto. Very close. Very close. Only one letter off.
I've actually seen it a bunch, so it's embarrassing that I don't absorb your name.
Sure. Well, because Stepfathers would be right after, right? Connor, your former teammate on the Stepfathers. I play his sidekick as Watto from the Phantom Menace. We used to do it live at UCB, and now we do it weekly as a live stream on planetscum.live every Sunday night. Excuse me, but
Jesus, he's an animal, people. He's an animal. I say, come do the podcast. I go, Griff, come. We'll have fun. We'll have a good time. He goes, okay, but I got to shovel down Wendy's when I know the two of you are on a diet. That's what he said. He said, I need to eat the food you cannot eat on this podcast.
Verbatim. That's what I said. You have perfect recall. That is word for word what I said. We did this one show one time. It was Connor's idea that we were going to open a Star Wars theme park before Galaxy's Edge opened at Disney World. So he had a thing called Star Wars Nebula's Rim. And part of it was, this is all the build up to this, because I think anyone who listens to the show would like to have this image in their brain. Other improvisers walked through the crowd and handed out sticks. Connor collected like 200 twigs and branches from the streets of New York City. Everyone was given a stick. And then Sebastian came out dressed as Darth Vader, and everyone was encouraged to throw their sticks at Sebastian.
And I had Tim's on. I was Darth Vader in Tim's.
I remember you just having like a black hoodie with the hood up, and then you had the mask on and the chest plate and a cape.
Yep.
Right.
That was my Darth Vader. That was my Darth, and people just threw sticks at me, and I went, oh, and I died. I died on stage.
And if people want to question Sebastian's commitment, you stayed dead, immobile on the floor until after the last audience member had left.
Of course. I'm not a good actor. I'm a long actor. Okay.
But they say acting is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes, all these actors are trying to get it, all these dialogue real short, real tight. Yeah. That's a mistake. I mean, we're not in the era of Kevin Smith anymore. You know that we don't need to be squeezing paragraphs in a minute. Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yes. No. I'm just realizing that also must have been such a like for Kevin Smith. That must have been a like, I can't buy that much film. You know, like get the whole thing out in one take really quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
He had so much dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it like to meet Kevin Smith?
Well, I met him a couple times. I met him.
Oh, you're on a new project of
I
his.
am.
I'm so sorry. I don't, can we talk about this or
No. We can. I'm happy to talk about it. Because I had met him. He does like a lot of interviewing and shit for Comic-Con. Usually he works for IMDb, but I think he's worked for other places where he'll be like the reporter and he'll interview everyone promoting shit. So when I think twice for The Tick, he interviewed the cast.
Oh.
So that was like you meet him very quickly. You get on stage.
Yeah.
You have this like 15-minute interview where it's you and 10 other people and they're trying to answer all the questions and then they shuttle you off, right? And like one time it was in front of a crowd, one time it was in front of a camera. But he was like very nice, and much like you, he was like a major idol of mine.
Yes.
And then now I'm doing a voice on the new He-Man show. He-Man, which is one of my biggest dork passions. An action figure line from the 80s that was then turned into a television series that was essentially just half-hour commercials for those toys.
See, normally my listeners, they don't know none of this shit. You
I
know, we're stepping into Narnia today. So this is beautiful for all the hotties out there that are listening.
Yeah. No, I know this is like all the jocks listening to this show, but I'm using Kevin Smith as a wedge point here.
Yes.
The thing that's fucking cool about He-Man is it was just created by toy executives who were trying to compete with Star Wars, because like Star Wars in the 70s had just eaten up the whole toy market. Everyone was just buying Star Wars shit.
Yeah,
And Mattel had passed on Star Wars, and they were like, how do we compete? So they literally were just like, what is every different thing boys like? So it's all of it. He-Man is like, what if it's a planet in the future in space, but it's also like medieval? And there are like barbarians, but also robots and aliens and monsters, but also animals, but the animals are all weird colors.
Yes.
They have vehicles that are like spaceships and like fucking like weird like lizard robot walking machines and shit. It's just all of it. It's just every cool thing you would make up on a playground when you were a kid, put into it. And then these cartoon show writers had to like try to imbue it with pathos and like gravitas and lore and all that's developed over years. I just like love it. I think it's the best thing. But there's this character Orko who I always loved, who I fought really, really hard to play on the show, who's like the Fozzie Bear of the universe. He's like a little
beautiful
wizard magician court jester who fucks everything up. He just constantly tries to do magic tricks and he fucks everything up.
It's awesome.
But I've gotten to I've done all my stuff now, theoretically, unless they have to do some more pickups or whatever.
They'll probably have to do a lot of pickups, Griff. Let's be honest.
I did my pickups last week. Or
okay.
Ago, though. I'm saying I've done pickups. The question is whether we have to do more. But I've had like the best fucking time working with him, and I will say, this show's like very outside of what he's done previously, because it's like someone else's material, right? It's animation. So he's done like Clerks, the animated series.
Loved it. It's so good. I can't believe it got canceled.
The best thing he's ever done.
Oh my go. Continue.
And then he's like directed episodes of those CW shows, right? But that's like him coming in for an episode, like
and Degrassi stuff and stuff. Yeah.
But this is like he's the showrunner on it. He's the main writer on it. It's someone else's property, but he's like designed this full series that works as a continuation of the show from the 80s. And when I do my recording sessions, it's with him over Zoom. But it's like with him directing me on everything. And I will say, he gives incredibly good direction. And I'm not one of these people who feels like, there's like a correct way to direct actors and incorrect way. But I just know every time he's given me a note, it's been helpful. I'm just like, you're not like talking to hear yourself talk, which I feel like some directors do to sort of show off how much they're thinking about shit.
Of course.
It's also not nebulous. He just kind of says like the exact thing he needs to convey, what exactly he's looking for.
Yeah.
This is what this moment needs to accomplish. The other thing is, because my character is this like wizard Goofus, right?
Yeah.
Who like speaks in these spells. He will improvise dialogue off the top of his head. Like when we're recording, he'll be like, feels like it needs something like this. And I could imagine him on the set of like Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back going like, feels like the scene needs something, Snoochie Boochies.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like,
we're one Snoochie Boochie away, Snooch of the Nooch away from perfection right here.
Right. But I wouldn't be astonished if I saw him do that in set and go like, oh my God, he came up with that on the spot. Like, like he has to come up with rhyming couplets of like a spell.
Wow.
And he'll just go like, okay, his thing is he always goes, okay, kids, pencils out.
Wow, that's
when
like
he
his like
improvises a line. Yeah, he'll go, okay, kids, pencils out. Here we go.
That's
and then
epic.
he closes his eyes and he goes like, yo, double, boil in trouble or whatever. And he'll just like come up with the thing. And it's super impressive. He doesn't even break a sweat.
Griffin, you haven't seen me improvise in a while. That's why I say at the start of every show. Start every show, I go, okay, kids, pencils out. And then I collect the papers at the end. I go, do we got one sketch out of this whole fucking thing? He's honestly, he's a total idol of mine, Kevin Smith. When I was a young kid, I went to the Secret Stash. Of course, I forced my parents to drive to Red Bank, New Jersey.
I always wanted to go, and they would never drive me.
You never went?
I never went. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. And we went to the place. We went to the convenience store where Clerks is filmed. We stood outside. They took my picture.
Yeah.
And I was like 12 or 11. I wasn't even smoking weed at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember I bought my parents like, you could buy one shirt. Right. So you could buy one shirt from the Jay and Silent Bob, the Secret Stash. I go, oh, amazing. And I bought a shirt of like Jay and Silent Bob smoking weed. Yeah. And my parents said, you could have this, but you cannot wear it to school. You cannot wear it to school. I go, of course, I'll never wear this. Mom, I'll never. I'm a good boy, right? Yeah. Of course. I wear it to school. The first time I wear it to school, I'm wearing an Echo sweatshirt, and I have the fucking Jay and Silent Bob smoking weed underneath. I get to school, take the Echo sweatshirt off. I'm rocking a weed smoking shirt, walking around junior high, feeling like the man. Cut to me in gym class. Yeah. We're playing in gym class. I refuse to get changed that day because I'm so into my Jay and Silent Bob smoking weed t-shirt. I fall down and I break my arm. Okay.
What?
I break my arm wearing the Jay and Silent Bob t-shirt. Right. And here's the deal.
Yeah.
They're like, we need to call your parents. You broke your arm, clearly. We need to get you to the doctors, yada, yada. I go, no. We need to get me back to my homeroom. And I take my shirt off with a broken arm, so my parents don't catch me wearing the weed smoking shirt, and I put the Echo sweatshirt on in pain, screaming.
Did you get away with it fully?
100%. I'm actually scared right now because my parents are right above me. I'm worried that they're hearing this story and I'm gonna get in trouble.
People talk about, there's always that thing that people say about like when a child is trapped under a burning car, a mother's like strength increases tenfold, you know?
Yes.
I do think we don't discuss enough how much pain a person can tolerate in order to avoid embarrassment.
Yes.
Yeah. Right? Because this idea of it's just a selfless thing. It's this parental instinct. If you're trying to save someone else, your strength increases. But it's like there's the opposite thing of just like, how much are you willing to endure in order to not be a little bit embarrassed?
100. I think a ton.
A ton.
I think that if I had a child, I might have more power with embarrassment than with the child. That's all I'm saying, right? Yeah. I think that my mom's most power would come from not being shamed, having our family not being shamed. It wouldn't be to save my life. It would be to protect us from the other everyone else in the world knowing the truth about our family. You know what I mean?
Totally. Absolutely.
That's where her strength would come from.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I was saying this to you right before we started recording. You said save it for Mike. I just want to make sure I get it out before we get on to the very important subject we're going to discuss very deeply.
Of course.
But you are the only person I have recognized out on the streets of New York City in the last year of the pandemic.
This is nice.
You're the only person I've run into with a mask and recognized.
That's me. I can't hide.
No, but I was sitting on a park bench. I saw you from a distance. I went, is that? And then I heard you laugh. And I went, yeah, that's Sebastian Canelli.
That's Sebastian. He's moseying down. And I remember us meeting because I haven't bumped into many people.
No.
Right?
No, right.
and I bumped into you, and
Uh-huh.
I pulled my mask off like a fuck. I've been in, I've been
Yeah.
private hiding forever, and instantly I just pulled my mask down to talk to you. What's wrong with me? I mean, we're
I mean,
outside.
we're
It was
all-
fine,
We're all
but
broken brained at this point. But also I just remember it was like I was sitting on a park bench at like 10 or 11 p.m. Like it was like late.
yes,
And you were like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I went grocery shopping.
this
I'm
is
really
embarrassing. Are you
exhausted."
sure you want to say this? This is embarrassing. He
yeah.
was exhausted from grocery shopping, so he was taking a break on a park bench.
But let's make it clear. The bench was literally across the street from my apartment building. Right? So I had like 3 like grocery bags next to me, and I was just sitting on a bench, like just breathing heavily. And I had been there for probably about 10 minutes before you walked by, and I was probably there for another 10 minutes after you left. I just sat at this bench for like 20 minutes, just being like, "Oh God, I'm so tired. I don't know if I can make it across the street."
I've
with
100% done
groceries."
this in quarantine.
Yeah. It just was like
That was
"Ah."
like the only workout you would get if you
Yeah.
were in New York for a while. It would be
Absolutely.
like going to the grocery store, and then you got to get a week's worth of shit, and then
Right.
it's like your traps are. I would have multiple stops along my
Right, and
grocery
the
path.
grocery store, I mean, was
to
3
stop.
blocks away, maybe. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I was so close, but it was just like the moment there was a bench I could sit down on,
100%.
I
There
was
was
like,
a-
I'm not ready to go home yet.
A little uphill. There was a little uphill.
There's a little uphill.
There was.
Yeah,
I'll give you that. A
there's a
slight
little incline.
A slight incline.
There was a slight incline.
I will if we're coming clean about stuff.
Yeah.
I was with a friend, and we went up into her don't laugh. Let's just skate over. Okay. I was with a friend. And we went up to their apartment. I
Uh-huh.
did peer out the window to see how long you were still sitting on the
I mean, I was there for a while.
bench. You were there for a minute. I looked and I
I
go,
was there for a while.
he's still there. Not even out of judgment, just out of wonderment.
I
Like, what
also-
is happening?
I believe I was there through both ends of you dog walking, right? Like I feel like I saw you on
Mhm.
one way leaving with the dog and then coming back or something.
Yep.
But I was also there for at least 10 minutes before that and 10 minutes after that.
Was I walking around drinking a tall boy?
You might have been. Not part of my memory.
Not part of your
my-
memory.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
don't think so. I
Okay.
don't think so.
Good.
But yes, it was nice to see you. And it was nice to see someone wearing a mask and be like, I 100% know that's my friend.
Thank you.
There's no question here. You're deprived of the joy of running into people spontaneously when everyone's face is covered. And I heard you, I saw you, and I went, I'm about to see a friend.
But you know what's beautiful? That's
And
beautiful.
he's about
for you.
to fucking judge me for sitting on a bench with
Yes,
5
of
bags
course.
of groceries.
But that's what you get with
I
Sebastian.
know what I'm getting.
You know what you're getting.
The
You
con
know-
man.
Yeah, you know the comments coming down the street. You're lucky I was with somebody. I didn't make 100 comments.
I know. Yeah. I mean, you could have fucking roasted me. It could
I
have
was on
turned
good
into a
behavior.
Boston market real quick.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Man, I've sat alone in the Boston market more times than I like to admit. The one on 23rd
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Near
Oh,
UCB. Yeah.
God,
Of course. Yeah.
That was one of the only places where they had the booth options and the chair option, and I would take the chair.
Yeah.
Because even the plastic boots were disgusting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
They were disgusting. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I love. There's a Boston Market drive-through I just found out about. So
Wow.
we're doing phenomenal.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
We're doing great.
Yeah.
Great. So Griffin, we asked people to get loud about something.
Yeah.
And so I said send me some stuff, and I look it over.
Mhm.
I told you I'm on a diet. And you go, oh, candy. The first thing he throws out is, how about we talk about candy? I go, shut the fuck up, okay?
Number one item on my list was holiday themed Reese's candies.
I mean, phenomenal, phenomenal.
You
I
told
was
him
proud
in the
of the
email that you're on a
specificity.
diet.
No, he didn't. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I lead with that. I go, just FYI, this is where I am in my life, okay? Boop, 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 boop,
How's he
boop.
supposed to know?
He's angry that I suggested candy, angry that I'm eating Wendy's on mic. Everything's a
not
personal affront.
No. And then
Yeah.
I liked, you said naps, and I go, oh, I like this idea. But then I realized I don't
Have you-
take naps.
You
I
don't.
I doze
Okay.
off. Fat people don't
Gotcha.
take naps. We
Gotcha.
doze. We sit
He
in
said
chair.
to me, he said
No.
fat people don't take naps. And I was
Fat
like,
people don't
really?
take naps.
I thought it was a good item to put on the list, but I put it out there knowing either you're fundamentally a nap person or you're not. There's not really middle ground. And either, you know, you're going to connect hard or it's an alien concept.
You do quick naps?
I do it all, baby. I got range.
You got a range.
I got range.
You do blankets. You're a blanket man, huh?
Yeah, yeah. But I also, it's a thing I pride myself on. You want to talk about Griffin's acting masterclass?
Okay.
I'm very good at making the most of the most limited nap time available on set, and even perhaps the most unwelcoming physical circumstances for a nap, and being able to be woken up, not be groggy, step in front of camera.
That's incredible.
And
Wow.
part of it is I sleep really poorly. I don't sleep well as a person. So I feel like I've created an economy of like micro naps in order
Yeah.
to exist that started, I think, back when I truly chalk this up to, I mean, I probably just have insomniac tendencies anyway, but when Adult Swim premiered.
No, you cannot start blaming Adult Swim
I do.
for your insomnia.
I started staying
There's
up
probably a lot of
late
people in
on Sunday
America that
nights.
have insomnia
Yeah.
because of
Chris,
Adult Swim.
20 years ago, I started watching Adult Swim. I didn't sleep, so I would take really quick naps during school, and I had to learn how to nap at my desk.
Jesus.
And then when teachers would call on me trying to bust me, how to wake up very quickly and parrot back to them the last thing they just said.
Wow.
So I feel
That-
like that's carried over to my acting.
I
Well,
get that.
yeah.
I used to be a good sleeper, and then Nick at Night came around, and then
Yeah.
now I haven't been asleep at nighttime ever since, bro. I
Yeah,
get this.
Right. I mean, the happy days became happy nights for you.
Became I always got thrown by Happy Days. I would turn on Happy Days. I look out the window. I go,
Yeah, we're
"There's no sun." I think that once actually, when we were on set together, we took a nap next to each other. Now that I think of it,
we absolutely did. I mean, there's one time I remember it very distinctly. We did a series together called Thanksgiving that was quote unquote a web series, but was actually 8 half-hour TV episodes
yeah.
with very established actors where we were paid web series money, and we filmed it all in a house that was being Airbnb'd, but the family was in the house while we were filming. So all the actors had to just stay in one room.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, it was like a pigsty. It was like, because it was
Yes.
a large cast too.
It was a
And I just remember there was a sense of competition for who got the bed.
Yes.
And
you
I
were
remember-
hoping you didn't have early scenes that day.
Right. But I remember one time distinctly, you and I cuddled up together, taking a good hard nap in that bed together.
You and I think we were hugging a little bit.
We were, I
There
think,
was some,
we were cuddling.
and I'm totally on board with that. I think
Of
that
course.
a good cuddle, if you go to sleep neutral and you wake up cuddling, that's beautiful.
That's a gain. There's no need for any those aren't pillows on the wake up. You know, just
There's no need for that.
just be grateful for what you have.
Yes. You know what? When I woke up and I thought I was holding a little teddy bear, and then I looked down, and it's my
me.
cute little Griff. This only joy. Only joy.
Yes, only joy.
I said, can I get a fucking Diet Coke and let's do this scene? Okay.
But let's make it clear, we're not doing an episode on naps.
No, we are not, because I don't think
Fundamentally not.
I'm a good
Yeah.
night sleeper. Or
Sure.
if I don't sleep at night, I have that blue collar energy where I just go, what are you
You
gonna
tough
do?
it out.
I
Yeah,
tough it out. I drink 15
Right.
cups of Dunkin', and then we're good.
right. Meanwhile,
So-
I'm a little Lord Fauntleroy who's like
A little who?
little Lord Fauntleroy, yellow ringlet curls. I got a big lolly, a hat with a bow around it.
Wow, that person has a name?
Little Lord Fauntleroy. That archetype, his name's Little Lord Fauntleroy.
Wow, you
Yeah.
are. Wow, that.
Give me a nap, Daddy. I need my nap.
That's nice. That is cute. I used to sleep in class, and one time I was sleeping in class, I would do the one hand, and one time I woke up farting, and everyone was just laughing because I was snoring and farting in the middle of class.
Yes.
But see, my charm wasn't waking up and being able to regurgitate what the teacher did. My charm was I would wake up and I'd be like, it was what it was, you know? Just kind of lean into
like,
it was wrong.
I am somewhat, because it's not like a thing I worked on. I don't know how I was able to develop this as a survival mechanism.
It's
But
a
I
good
would
one.
be like head down, desk, face on the desk, right?
Yeah.
like fully covered, and the teachers would go like, "Oh, Griffin's sleeping," and they'd go like, "Griffin," and then I just pop up and somehow repeat the last 15 words they said.
Wow, that's incredible.
And then they would go, "I guess you're not sleeping," and I would go, "Yeah, I told you that. I just focus better when my eyes are closed and my face is down on the desk." But I was kind of like, they couldn't argue with it. They were like, "I don't know. He always repeats the last 15 words." Of course, when a paper got handed in, they'd be like, "This kid doesn't fucking get anything."
Yeah, 100%. That is wild.
Yeah.
What school did you go to?
I went to like a little Lord Fauntleroy school.
Okay, let's not even talk about it. Let's skate over that. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I went to yeah.
You went to a nice school.
I went to like a weirdo kid school. Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. That's beautiful, and that's why you know what? That's what makes you who you are today.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. But let's talk about
let's
what
not talk about
subject
that.
you did pick.
What subject I did pick?
Yeah.
Was cell phone games,
Mhm.
cell phone video games. And I don't think anyone else, I was so excited when you picked that, actually, when you pitched that, because I am 100% addicted to cell phone video games. Great. Okay.
Great.
Let's start right off the bat.
Yeah.
I'm not talking current, because I think cell phone video games, you rotate. I'm not playing my favorite cell phone video game of all time. What is your favorite cell phone video game of all time?
Great question. I do think my favorite is the one I'm playing currently, which has held the top spot for a while now for me.
Wow, I am jealous. I wish I was still playing my favorite game.
It is because I went through cycles of getting really tired of games, right? And I feel like part of it is sometimes you just get tired of the rhythms of the game, both internally, but also the rhythms of how long does it take for lives to refresh, like those kinds of things. You start getting impatient. You get a little side piece. You get a little backup game you play when you're waiting for the lives to refresh on that first game, and then that game sort of takes your heart, and you forget about the first one, right?
This is so true.
This is why I wanted to talk about this subject, because I feel like there's a lot here.
This is so true. I never thought you do pick up a side piece when this one's building up a time.
Right, and then the side piece becomes your main, and the cycle repeats, the cycle repeats, the cycle repeats.
That's interesting. My Gumaz always becomes my main game. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Right, and sometimes you go back to the original one, but it's like not the same. They've changed some things. You're not used to it, whatever it is. But I've been on this one for a while now. The game is called Disney Emoji Blitz. It is my virtual background right now in this recording. Now, I want to explain the fundamental thing that I like about this game and what keeps me coming back to it no matter what.
Okay.
It is, in essence, your basic like match game, right? Whatever they call it, match 3 or whatever. Where
three
it's
in a row, a Candy Crush style.
It's a Candy Crush style game, right?
Okay, yeah.
But the things that you are matching are emojis of Disney characters.
Okay.
It extends to Pixar. It dabbles into Star Wars. Marvel is off the table. Is not on the table.
So it's not Disney Plus. It's not Disney Plus World. They do not have Wicked Tuna characters on there. There's not free solo emojis.
High School Musical, the musical, the series isn't.
They have not. Well, no, they haven't done High School Musical stuff yet, but they've done Disney Channel, Disney movies proper, live action and animated, Pixar, Muppets, Star Wars. I mean,
no Marvel.
I've always heard that Marvel has weird licensing things where they don't like to be associated with the Disney shit because they think it makes them look kiddie-ish. Whereas Star Wars is like, you can fucking have C-3PO high-fiving Goofy. Who gives a shit?
Sure. Once you've done a Christmas special, it's all up for grabs. You know what I mean?
Marvel's like weirdly kind of like, oh no, we're for like big kids or whatever. So Marvel's not it, and Wicked Tuna isn't part of it yet. But a lot of the Disney Kingdom is there. Okay. But the key point here is you're matching these emojis, right? But in this game, and we're going to get into the currency conversation because the games, they always end up being about how many different forms of currency you have.
Yes.
How you prioritize them and whether or not they get you on the hook to actually spend real money on their in-game currencies, right?
I love this. Yes.
The thing you are working towards in Disney Emoji Blitz, you're not just getting high scores. You're not just unlocking, fucking bonuses, right? Power-ups or whatever.
Yeah.
earning enough coins through games to be able to buy boxes that give you the emoji, which then goes onto your phone keyboard and you can use. And this
Okay.
is the thing. It's the only game I have found where you get to take something with you.
Yeah,
Oh.
I haven't heard of any game where
Right?
you're gaining anything.
Right. Now, what's the market for being able to send someone an emoji of Sebastian the crab with hearts for eyes? Limited.
Not
I
for
don't
me.
know.
Not for me, brother.
I get a lot of use out of it, right? Like I get the use out of it, but it also is a thing where you have to pre-establish in your relationships, because if you just send them that out of the blue, they go, "What? Why? How did you jailbreak your phone? How is this an option?" So I have
Sure.
pre-established relationships with people who know I play this game, and I use those emojis a lot. Sometimes I'll send them just for kicks to people to watch them fucking get confused, especially when it's deeper cut characters and you're like, is that Scrooge McDuck as Ebenezer Scrooge?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, holiday promotion.
Yes, of course.
But it's just the fact that I feel like cell phone games are often, it's like, this is what I do to kill time, right? Like most of us get into the game because it's like, what am I gonna do while I'm on the subway, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I used to read books and now I'm a fucking heathen, right? I
Yeah.
listen to a podcast and I play a cell phone game and I don't read books ever anymore.
Right.
But then you start to get addicted enough that it bleeds into other areas of your life. You want to get your fix or whatever. This is the only game that I just feel like rewards me in some way. That when I close the app, I still feel like that time was well spent. Look at my emoji keyboard.
That is. I haven't. I've spent hours on games and haven't gotten anything in return.
And this is the other part. When you quit a game, when your side game becomes your main game,
Yeah.
the spell is off and you go, why did I spend that much time on that game? Like suddenly there's nothing tying
It's
you back to
actually
that
disgusting.
game.
It's
Right.
actually it's the equivalent of coming when you delete an app. It's the equivalent of coming.
Sebastian, I'm so happy you said it because I was waffling on whether or not to say it myself. It is that thing where
Griffin,
after you ejaculate, you look at all the
Yes.
tabs and you can't close them quickly enough. You're like, why was I looking at this?
I know, but what is the climax of a cell phone video game? That's the ultimate question. I don't think it is a climax. I think it's a peter.
I agree. I think they usually peter out and then you end
Yeah.
up feeling disgusted with yourself for spending that much time getting in that deep. Whereas it's like
Disgusted.
the Emoji Blitz thing, I'm like, no, this is tangible. This is really getting me somewhere. I will also say, especially in this last year or so, they have really, the app developers have stepped up their game in terms of constantly having like events.
Okay, for this
Okay.
specific game.
Right, where they'll be like, this week it's an event based around this movie, you know? And it's like, the game is modified and now there's this objective and you have this many days to do it and there's like a special character you'll only be able to unlock in this time period. And in a year pretty devoid of structure where time
Yes.
becomes an abstract concept, even if Disney Emoji Blitz now takes up a disturbing amount of my day,
Okay.
right?
Yes. Yes.
I do appreciate that. I'm like, I understand the passage of time because the Snow White Wicked Queen event only lasts for 3 days. It's a 3-day
You're not
event.
in weeks. You're in Disney Emoji Blitz promotions. That's
Well,
how
and,
you
and they're
measure
also,
time.
but they're like month-long things where they're like, every time you win around, you might get some dog bone tokens.
Okay.
This is a dog-themed month.
This is not Doja Coin.
Right, because there are multiple things going on in the game at any time. It's
Uh-huh.
there are tokens, there are coins, there are gems, and
It's
there
like
are the emojis.
Any casino, they try. That's why you have to.
Yes.
That's why you're playing with points rather than
Yeah.
cash. It tries
Right.
to fucking confuse your brain.
Right. But
It-
but the most satisfying thing about going to a casino is that moment where you put the fucking paper slip in and out comes hard American cash and you go, wow, suddenly this is real.
Yes.
I've been tapping screens all night, you know? And
Uh-huh.
even if you're playing like physical cards and you got
Yeah.
the chips, you're still like, oh, it's abs purple. How
It's-
much is that? Whatever.
Sure. It's
the
on purpose.
Right.
Yes.
The moment where it's like actually money is so satisfying if you're able to hold out and remain strong enough to walk out of there with a good amount of money, right? And not let it just turn into like digital noise in your head.
Also, a
like
good
that-
moment at a casino is when you lose all your money, you go in the bathroom, and you rip a line of coke. Okay, that's also a good fucking moment at the casino. I'll tell you
I
that.
gotta say, I should
Off the toilet bowl, man. Right off the back of the toilet bowl. You don't even wipe it down. You're so low.
I shouldn't have agreed with you so quickly.
Yeah.
That's also a beautiful moment.
I agreed far too quickly into that sentence.
You want to know, Griffin? I've never even done that, but we've created a lore that we pretend is real.
Yeah, of course. Oh, of course.
No, I did that. I did
tell
that.
ourselves
No, I
stories
did
in order. But I just like that. I feel like with Emoji Blitz, I have that moment where I put the paper slip in, and out comes, let's say, an emoji of Gaston.
Oh,
Nice.
Gaston is a good emoji to have if you want to
There
be
are
flirting too.
Fun, yeah, and they're fun.
It's a good flirt emoji.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that. I
yeah.
could use a Gaston emoji.
It's also just such a good conversation starter to have people be like, do you have an emoji of Jeffrey Rush's character from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're like, yes, I do. And I used the variation where he's kind of silly and he's sticking his tongue out.
Wow. See, what surprised me about you liking cell phone games
Yeah.
is you are so I have a terrible memory when it comes to names and movies and stuff like that. I didn't remember Watto, right? You have such a memory for that stuff. And I get most of my cell phone game action while watching TV, watching movies. Do you do cell phone game action while watching TV or movies?
I mean, during this year, I feel like more so. I will say I am a person where I like fucking love going to the movie theater. And this year has been like tough for me. And I feel like I have watched less new release movies than almost anyone I know.
Can we
because
just say thoughts and prayers have been with you since day one
Thank you.
because we
Thank
know
you.
you like going to the movies, Griffin.
Thank
Okay. It's been thoughts and prayers from day one that Griffin couldn't go to the movies.
But it's part of that thing where I'm just like, if I'm going to a movie theater, I'm paying attention to this thing.
Yeah,
My phone is
100%.
off. It is in my pocket.
You're
And
not
then
pulling it out.
if I'm watching, I mean, Sebastian, that could be misinterpreted a couple.
But at home you pull it out. You play with it. You pull it out. But in the movies, you're respectful. You know where you are. You don't pull it out, right?
Yeah. I just feel like, especially because like I host this movie podcast with my friend David, and ostensibly my job is to like watch these movies at home for the podcast.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm rewatching things I've seen a lot, and other times I'm watching things for the first time, and it's so tempting to have it right there. I try to use restraint and I try to focus on the things I'm watching as much as possible. But I also feel like this year I've slipped into a lot more of just like, I'm just binge watching shit, which I think I used to be a more deliberate watcher. I was not someone who would watch like 5 episodes of a thing in a row.
No, you don't feel like that at all.
Now I'm someone who just sits down and watches like a whole fucking season of The Simpsons in one sitting.
It's a zombie mode. You just fucking you're downloading. You're not even like interacting with it.
So in that case, I'm on my fucking phone. I'm playing games.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I try to, if I'm like, I'm actually trying to focus on this thing and pay attention, keep my phone at bay. Yeah.
If I have to shit and it's an emergency, I
Yeah.
will still go get my phone in another room.
Well, this is another big thing for me. Okay, so like cell phone games. I mean, the root of it for me, public transportation, right? I love City Boy. I love the subway. Just the combination of a podcast and a cell phone game hits the spot for me, right?
And you're small.
Yeah.
Not small, but you're smaller than I.
I'm small. I'm a small person.
I didn't want to say you're small.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm always insecure sitting down because I'm scared that I'm going to be one of a picture on a fucking blog. Can you believe this fat man is taking up a seat in a corner? You know what I mean? Like, how dare he? You know?
I can slip in there. I'm one of those people where I can sit down in a spot that wasn't even meant to be a chair.
You've taken a sliver of a middle seat.
Yes, right. Right. And I'll see sometimes people give me that look where it's like, don't you dare try to sit in there. And I slide in there.
They see you sizing it up.
I got to admit, I can't even tell the difference.
He's taking the size of the fucking seats you take are like the slices of pizza that they give out at kids' parties. You know what I mean?
I know how to just like origami my body into that little 1/5 of a slice. Right. Just the long and skinny. But yes, so like being able to just like sit down in a little
Mhm.
sliver, play a little game, keep my elbows close together, what have you. But the other big part of this is I have IBS. I spend a lot of time on the toilet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing that I feel like developed in the last, I guess, maybe 10 years now. But I feel like that coincides pretty cleanly with like me having smartphones, me downloading games, me having a lot of time sitting down in one
Wait,
place.
so you're blaming your insomnia on
I'm not. I'm not.
Wait. Let me just get this
On
straight.
Adult Swim.
On Adult Swim, and now
Yeah.
you're blaming your IBS on smartphones?
No, I
No,
don't think he
no,
is. I think he's saying the
no.
other way around.
No,
Oh,
thank
okay,
you.
okay.
Thank you,
I'm
Robbie.
just making sure.
Thank you.
I'm just making sure. Hey, I'm just Geraldo Rivera-ing this shit, right? I'm just trying to figure out the
I
fucking
appreciate
truth,
it.
okay?
I am blaming my insomnia on Adult Swim, but I'm saying the opposite, as Robbie recognized.
Maybe I misheard on purpose.
That
Okay.
I feel like my cell phone game addiction grew
Yes.
in accordance with the amount of time I now had to spend sitting down isolated on a toilet. Where it's like, what are you gonna do? It's like,
Yeah.
once again, what I used to do, read a magazine,
Never.
Now I'm
It's-
not even reading magazines. I'm fucking playing games all the time.
The whole concept of a magazine behind the toilet bowl was the most disgusting thing our civilization has ever
I
done.
was all about it. I was all about like.
Why was it disgusting?
Are you kidding?
Well, it's just the poop particle.
How is
You're
it
flicking your fingers.
Yeah.
Well, you're flicking your fingers. It's all
The flicking.
hands. It's all
It's the
tactile.
I
finger
see.
flicking.
Yeah. Oh, any bathroom book. It's like, come on. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's
I think-
absolutely disgusting.
I think back to I have an Entertainment Weekly subscription.
I still
entertainment-
get one at the house.
Yeah. Oh, I think my parents moved,
Uh-huh.
and so then they set up my address as their mail forwarding address
Yeah.
because they don't have like a permanent residence right now. So I get all their mail,
Uh-huh.
and a nice silver lining of having to now once every couple of weeks put all of my fucking family's mail in a big manila envelope and send it to them is that I just now keep a lot of their magazines.
Yes. And
So it's
older
like-
people get magazines still, and
Exactly.
it's beautiful.
Right, I cut that out of my life a while ago, and I kind of miss it. And now I'm just like, oh, now I got all these magazines again. But
Yeah.
but used to have an Entertainment Weekly subscription, like my early 20s. I lived with two other like movie nerds,
Mhm.
and I just remember like, it arrives on Friday. I would just christen it. I'd always be the first one to bring it into the shitter with me. And I start
Disgusting.
out, and it's like
Absolutely disgusting.
the first shit. Maybe I'm just taking a glimpse of trying to see what's inside. Maybe I'm not even really reading anything in full, right?
A scan.
Right, just a scan. What do we got in this issue, right?
Mhm.
And then the second time, it's like, okay, here's the article I was really excited to read.
Yes.
Whether it's the cover story or it's not the cover story, but it's a profile I'm excited about. And
you
you-
find out about Jeremy Piven's entry
Right.
into Entourage. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
That's what I was reading.
Right.
Entertainment Weekly.
So like on Saturday, you're looking at it and you're like, I mean, I'm not going to read this article ever. I'm only going to read the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And by Wednesday, you're like, I've read every article 2 times. I can't wait for the new issue to arrive. Like I just shit so much that I had just read everything.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so the sense of progress of being able to like play a cell phone game and like feel like I'm getting somewhere, I'm doing something quote unquote productive, right?
Yes, quote
Because
unquote.
there's that illusion of just like I'm accomplishing something, numbers are going up, I'm advancing levels.
Feels good.
It feels good. It's a serotonin rush,
I guess the question that everyone, the most embarrassing question I could ask you around the cell phone game.
That's
Have
what
you
his goal is, to find the most embarrassing
Yeah.
question.
I assume that's always.
How
the
can I
goal.
embarrass him the most?
Yeah.
To
No,
squirt
no,
that
no.
Mom strength.
No, listen to me. Listen to me, Griffin.
Yeah.
You've been much cooler than me on this episode. Let's just get it right out the way.
I
Okay?
don't know if that's true. I started out talking about Watto.
No, it was phenomenal.
Okay,
It was
go on,
phenomenal.
go
I
on.
love that. No, I wish I had the memory that you do.
Yeah, it's one of the
Just-
only things I like about the way my brain works. Where I'm like, that's a good feature.
It's 100% a great. It's a
Yeah.
phenomenal feature. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, the question is, have you spent money on a cell phone game?
Great question. I have. I
Oof.
I am very loath to do it. I would say, in fact, I do it pretty infrequently, and I try to set pretty hard rules about it. we all have our moments of weaknesses,
Yeah.
perhaps,
Yes.
you know? But I do think it's a real slippery slope, especially with a lot of the like those moments where they got you bent over the barrel, where it's sort of like, oh,
cell phone games are so sexual for you.
know.
You know?
you know, like when it's like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I was trying to beat this high score, I got so close, and then that
Yes.
flash will come up, and it's like, do you want to spend 5 jewels to play another 30 seconds plus 3 moves? And you're like, I mean, I would definitely get the high score if I did that, right?
100%. 100%.
And then you break and you do it, and you don't get the fucking high score. And
Ugh.
it's like, but now, I mean, now I really gotta
Double
get another 5 jewels, right? Like those moments, those are moments of true weakness. And I try to set rules. And I often have found in the past, the moment when I started buying anything in a cell phone game is the moment I maybe tried to delete it from my phone and go like, you're in too deep, right? The Emoji Blitz one, once again, this is not sound financial thinking, but it's like, I'm never spending money to like beat a level. If I'm spending money, it's because there's emoji that's limited.
No. This is sick behavior. This is an
I
addict
agree with
talking.
it.
So you're
I
saying you're
agree.
buying emojis.
I
That
agree
is a
with it.
thing. You buy you can buy emojis.
Occasionally buy emojis. I like to win them. I like to feel like I have earned them. It's one of the reasons I like this game so much.
Yes.
Sometimes I break. Sometimes I break.
It sounds like you're on trial for half of this episode.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're on the defense stand. Like, it's like, I like this, and it's okay that I like this thing. Okay, here's the reasons.
Can I tell you a thing I've done sometimes?
Oh, no.
So I'll be like, oh, there's like a limited diamond box, right? Like these 3 emojis are only available in the diamond box, right?
Okay.
And it's only available for this much time.
Oof.
And I'll be like, fuck it, I'm gonna spend $3 for a diamond box, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I don't get the one I wanted.
Oh.
Sometimes, and I say sometimes, very often, if not every time, I will file a thing with the Apple Store, the iTunes Apple Store,
No.
and say like, "Oh, this was an accidental purchase. Can I get a refund, please?"
No.
Yeah, I've done it a lot.
You've done it a lot.
I've done
That's
it
like
a
buying
lot.
Pokemon card packs and then not
Yes.
getting the card you want and being
Right.
like, no, somebody else bought this. Not
Yes,
me."
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, I've done that, and I've gotten refunded sometimes. And
This is-
sometimes in the process, they take back the thing you got digitally in the game.
Oof,
But
that
sometimes
hurts.
I just keep the thing I didn't want, and I get the money back,
Wow.
which is never my aim.
No, but
I'm ready to volunteer whatever shitty thing I didn't want that I got, you know?
sure. It's like when they fuck up your order at a restaurant and you already
Right.
have the food. Do you really
Yeah.
want to give the food back so they throw it out?
Right.
Yeah.
I always get so pissed because that's just to hurt you. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's not benefiting them at all. They just want to
Yeah.
go, you better be fucking telling the truth.
Right. Right. And it's just like, yeah, who's this hurting in the grand scheme of things? But yes, I try to really keep limits on that. Because it's just it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope.
I've had to delete a cell phone game because I spent money on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No. I was playing Uno online versus strangers, and I spent over $300 in 1 month.
Oh my.
Yeah. See, I've never gotten to that point. I've never gotten to that point. And I'll say, here's the thing I'll do, okay? I'm like big into grinding. Like on any game where there's like, oh,
Me
you
too.
can
Rub your
beat it-
ass on me. Play some Lil Jon. We're talking about
Well,
grinding all
okay.
night long, baby.
No, but like any game where there's something you can do to get free whatever, right? Like watching
do you mean?
ads.
Oh yes, I like that. I didn't know that's what that was called. It's grinding.
Yeah. And then some I feel like that's a video game term for like if you're trying to like accumulate currency or whatever.
I'm all about the ads.
mining,
All about.
maybe mining is what they call it. I don't know. I know that's fucking Bitcoin mining.
Yes.
But yes, like watching ads and shit like that. And a big thing I do, and this is one of the ways I largely avoid spending my own money and shit, is I'll now always, and especially now that I'm just home all the time, I can really take advantage of this.
Yeah.
You have the game on 2 different devices.
What is happening, Griffin? This is we've just this is Rounders. We just leveled up, bro. This is some shit is happening right here. Okay.
So I have the game on like an iPad and an iPhone, right?
Jesus Christ. And it's the same
So
user ID.
Same
so your
account,
main
linked up.
girl has become also your side piece.
Yeah, I'm pretty much full-time
You're going
Emoji
from your
Blitz
main
now.
girl to you have like a it's like you're
Yeah.
dating twins.
But I've done, yes, correct. But I've done this with other games too. But that way, if it's like, oh, you can only watch so many ads an hour or whatever, right? You can only get a free drop of coins every 4 hours or whatever.
Yes.
You double up.
Jesus, this is
And there's
sicko
a whole
behavior.
there's a dance to it because
What do you mean?
you have to make sure you sync the things in the right order.
Oh, so like you have to do like one at a time or like all on the
It
phone?
depends.
and
It depends. But yes, I mean, primarily, I think you want to run through everything on one device first, right? Make sure you've milked everything you could within that time, block that you can. Then you close out of it.
You have to close out of it.
This is what I do. This is what works for me.
This is pro tips, though. This is
Yes.
this is what we need to know. If we're gonna start doing this, I'm downloading the game as soon as this is over. I hope
me
you know
too.
that.
This was largely
Yeah.
just
You
been a
just
nice
fucked
ad
me,
for
bro. You just
Disney Emoji Blitz.
Sebastian, can you, the moment this episode is done, start a group text so I have Robbie's number as well, and I can send both of you guys these fucking emojis because now I want to
100%.
Look how
Let's get
beautiful I'm
flex on
rolling.
us.
Yeah.
This is
I'm gonna
sicko.
flex. But this is the thing. Okay, so it's like, okay, milk it dry, right? Like, watch ad,
Yeah,
coins, right? Open treasure chest, whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm good, I'm clean, I'm even, right?
Yeah,
Close out of the app, then reopen the app on that same device.
Okay.
That way, I make sure that it did properly sync. That whatever progress I just made from whatever I just gained from that grinding did in fact go into the cloud, right? Into my account. This is another thing is
I feel like
I
I'm
know-
back in engineering school right now.
Emoji
This is so
Blitz-
detailed. This is
Emoji
phenomenal.
Blitz in particular, I think really mostly works. They might have another option now, but for a while, the only way you could sync it was through a Facebook account. I deleted my Facebook account like 9 months ago. I started a new Facebook account. I have literally 0 friends.
Gee.
My name is Sniffin' Pooman. And I just have an account for fucking being able to sync there, right? So you
Wow.
reopen the second time, you make sure, okay, the totals are correct. I have the right coin amount from
They
the
have
last
to
time.
think you're 12 years old on Facebook.
Absolutely.
You only play a
Sniffin'
game and
Pooman.
your name is Sniffin' Pooman.
Yes. 0 friends. I
0 friends.
literally 0 friends. Then I open up
Oh
the
my
second
God.
device,
You're brilliant, bro.
open the app on there, and then I
Uh-huh.
make sure, okay, is that the total from the previous thing? Because sometimes they don't sync up with each other, and it's like they're uploading the total from 5 minutes ago before you started grinding.
Yeah.
So then I'll close out of that app and reopen it until the numbers are the same on both, and then I grind on the second
Wow.
device. So you just have to make sure things are syncing properly.
Jesus, you are leagues and bounds ahead of me. I'm in awe. I'm in awe of your level of gameplay. I like unlock games too. Right now what I'm playing is Mr. Autofire, and it's basically you jump and you shoot, right? So
Yeah.
it's just you're constantly shooting and
Yeah.
you just move around and you jump.
Yeah.
And you just move and jump and you shoot. And why I like the game is because when I grew up on games, I grew up on Super Nintendo. I grew up on the original PlayStation. It was N64. Games were a little more simple. So some games like that remind me more of games as a child than
Sebastian,
games
you're
on
speaking
my
my language.
Xbox.
Game Boy was my thing,
Yes.
and I still just like that kind of platform game more than anything. And I am not super attracted to games being able to sell me an increased sense of realism. Like I like the unreality of video
I
games.
don't need
I
that.
like
Yes.
solving puzzles. I like doing things that a human body can't do. I don't want like a realistic POV. You know?
No,
Yeah, that
I'm
was
not
never
tricked.
my thing either.
Yeah.
I was just home asking my mom where my Game Boy DS
Yeah.
Advance was. I was like, I want to bring it back to where I am now.
But it's also like, know what you are. I want a video game
Yeah.
to be a video game, not to be like it's experiential. You're living this.
Unless you're doing VR.
Sure, but that's its own
I don't
thing.
do
But like
VR.
that's its own thing.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
its own thing. That's its
Yeah.
own thing.
Yeah.
This is sad. I started during quarantine.
Mm.
I started playing Pokemon on my MacBook.
That's not sad.
I started. No, what's
not
sad
sad at all.
was.
I've spent an hour.
That's what I was
talking about
going home
Disney
trying to play
Emoji Blitz.
Pokemon.
Yeah, come on.
Well, here's the sad part. I realized that when I shut my computer and I lost the internet, I lost all progress. And then when I
Oh.
opened it, I didn't cry, but I yelled and I threw my cell phone on my bed against all the pillows. Okay, so
Oh, okay.
there was a moment of little frustration there.
But it's that ultimate, that's the ultimate unlock game, right? That's the ultimate, like you're so aware of
Yes.
what you don't have at any given point in time and the sense of accomplishment you feel when you get something done. That's another thing with Disney Emoji Blitz. Aside from the fact that I get to use all these emojis, I love opening it up and looking at my collection.
Oh, I
Yeah.
loved that with
Yeah.
my Pokemon. I would look and I go, I have this and this, and you would compare. Remember, you could sync the
Oh,
two
yeah.
Game Boys
Yeah.
up,
Yeah,
and you
the
could
cable.
trade from one
Yeah.
person to another.
That fucking
That was
like
the-
2-inch cable. It's like, oh my God, you can
Yes.
share data with a friend as long as you're standing shoulder to shoulder.
Yes,
and they're
it had
the
to-
same height as you.
You had to be facing opposite directions because you couldn't
Yes.
turn the Game Boy
Yes.
to both be looking forward.
It was like standing at two urinals in a poorly
Yes.
designed bathroom. Yes.
100%,
Yeah.
but no divider. It was
Right,
one of those European ones where it was
Right.
just a big slosh that you all pissed it.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I did when I was home. I opened the game, I look at my collection, and I felt the same sense of, oh yeah, I did have this guy was level 100. I
Yeah.
like felt nice,
Yeah.
and I closed the game, and I was like, it's still there.
Yeah.
I still have that.
You want to know
It is nice.
my favorite feeling I get in Disney Emoji Blitz?
What is it?
So it'll be like, oh, like gold box number 1 has these 30 emojis in it, right? Like gold box number 2. And every emoji can level up to 5 is the maximum. And you
Okay.
have to get like 5 of each emoji to hit a new level, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Every time you get another one, they get more powerful. You get a higher score when you use in the game, whatever. The most satisfying thing in the world for me is like, if you maxed out at 5, that emoji is just out of circulation. They're like, yeah, you got all you can have. And the coup de grace is when they're like, you've gotten everything you could possibly get out of this box.
Wow. So 150. You've
I-
gotten 150 unlocks then.
Yeah, thank you for doing the math. But yes, it's nice when they're just like,
I
there's
mean,
nothing.
this has been with you
nothing
through
for you.
relationships. It would
Sure.
almost be embarrassing if you did it.
It's been years now, right?
Yeah.
But it is like they're like
This game might be in your wedding party. Let's be honest,
That's
right?
right.
This
Yeah.
game has been
Yeah.
through some tough times with you.
Yeah, I mean, look, in my previous relationship, this game would have been making the toast at the
It would have been the ordained minister.
right.
She would have been up
right.
there
It
fucking
was,
connected.
one of the things that brought us together. But
100%. You've connected me with my emojis all along. Now I
Yeah.
will connect you two in
Yeah.
love, right? It would have been a beautiful moment.
oh yeah, but it's just such a good feeling to have the app tell me like, there's nothing for you in this store.
Wow.
You own everything there is to own.
And that is the feeling. See, you search for that feeling through a cell phone emoji, and that's the feeling that Jeff Bezos is searching for IRL. You know what I mean?
Right. That's because when I look
Which
at
is
people like
sick.
that, and I'm just like, what? At what point do you not step away? Like, and it's like, I guess you just start to go like, in your mind, you're constantly chasing Mew, right? You're like, there's a 151st Pokemon. The guidebook
Yeah.
doesn't tell me it exists, but I know it does, and I
There's a-
have to figure out how to get it. And
Yes.
Bezos just thinks there's some number. There's some number of
Chasing
money
Mew.
he could make
Mhm.
where it's like, I've hit the Mew amount now.
Yes. Mew is a Pokemon.
That's a beautiful-
Okay?
yeah.
Just so everyone knows out there.
I hope everyone knows that.
But that was the whole thing. They were like, Pokemon, when it came out, they were like, oh, it's only 151. It's only 151. And then kids on the playground be like, I don't know. I have a cousin who went to Japan. He says there's 151.
I
Yeah.
know.
Right? Like it was 150, 150, 150. And it was like, no, there's another one. There's a secret
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
It's
There's a
in the
secret
game.
one.
And people that knew how to get it, I would be so annoyed. I'm like, what are you? They would tell you to do all these weird
Yeah.
steps, and you would go home and do them. You'd be like, it didn't work.
Yeah.
They would have told me to go, to my shop right on aisle 5. I would have believed
Right.
them and
Kids-
gone to
kids
try to do
telling
this.
You,
yeah.
if you give them your lunch money, then,
Yeah, exactly.
then
I'm
suddenly
so
you will feel
naive.
How bullshit was the Pokemon Go shit? Because that was like, it was like, oh, we're trying to get people outside. We're trying to get people going out and about. That know your place. Cell phone games.
Thank you.
I have a confession to make.
No, Robbie, don't do me like this, okay? Don't do me like this.
So I quit phone games permanently in 2014 because of a traumatic experience. But in 2016, I came back
What
for Pokemon
experience?
Go. Not actually traumatic. I was going on a ferry to Fire Island to like see my friend, and he is like family friends.
So angry. The angriest person.
They swarmed him and they stole the cell phone and they charged.
It's not actually traumatic.
They thought he was a green pig.
His like neighbor on, his neighbor was Tina Fey. I don't know if we got this, but I was like,
I cannot predict where this story is going.
I was just excited. I was like very excited to potentially meet Tina Fey. I was in college. I mean, she's awesome. I think Tina Fey is awesome. And I was on the ferry. I go to the ferry, like the front end of the ferry, and this family sits next to me, and I'm just playing the game the whole time. I'm playing 2048, and I was like really into 2048. I don't know if you guys ever played that. Yeah. So I'm doing 2048,
Griffin,
2048.
He used to be a finance bro. That's why he played 2048. Okay, so now you know.
Yeah.
I was in college at this point.
This is good to keep my mind sharp. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it was.
Yourself into like Pokemon Go style. Like, I'm not playing a game. I'm keeping my mental facilities.
Yes, that's what he was thinking. Right. He was thinking help with his Goldman Sachs interview.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
yes.
I'm playing 2048. This family is like sitting near me. I'm texting my friend. I'm like, oh, is Tina gonna be out there this weekend? I'm so excited to meet Tina.
Tina, he's throwing around first names. Never even met her. Wonderful.
I'm like pulling up Wikipedia. I'm like trying to show. I never watched 30 Rock, so I'm like trying to like. No. I'm like trying to just like sharpen up on my Tina Fey trivia. I literally have her Wikipedia up, going back to 2048. I hit 2048 for the first time. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Doing it more. I end up hitting 4096. This family is trying to talk to me. There's two little girls. I'm trying to figure out the family in my head. I'm like, I don't know. There was like someone my age, two little girls, whatever, husband, wife. They're trying to toss me like, oh, I'm sorry if the kids are annoying you. I'm like, no, everybody's fine. Don't worry about it. Back in the phone, doing the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, is she going to be there? Is she going to be there? Texting my friend, whatever. And as we get off the boat, I realize I just didn't register to me, but I was sitting directly across from Tina Fey the entire time. And I was like, it was her. Yeah, it was her and her husband, Jeff, who was really nice. He remembered my name the next day. Like they're very, very nice people.
I want to.
I was essentially ignoring them.
Robbie, that's a funny story, and I understand why it's a moment you regret. I just want to remind people that you framed that as a traumatic.
I guess I was like, not a traumatic. It was a.
This is why we have to ask.
It was an awakening.
We gotta ask questions.
It was an awakening.
Shit slide.
I had like that night. I was just like, what are you doing? You just like sit in your phone. You're missing life. Like, what are you?
Your Wikipedia
life is going
person
beyond you. You're like, why do you care about this phone? Like, I had it was an epiphany moment, I guess.
Sebastian, that's such a good point. Like, even more embarrassing than like we're trying to talk to this guy and he's like got his nose buried in 2048. At one point they're trying to make small talk with you and you're there looking up Tina Fey on Wikipedia.
She's trying to small talk me.
And, you go, hey,
and I was like, the irony was too much. Of me. Like, I did get 4096.
SNL 8 seasons. Very interesting.
Like,
and she's in front of me. Yeah, I was.
Zip it. I'm trying to read episode synopses for 30 Rock. I never watched the fucking thing.
I got someone to impress tomorrow, okay, miss?
I'm holding a hot hand here. Don't distract me.
And I was like, it was too much of like, you need to never play phone games again. But anyways, fast forward to 2016. I guess I don't really register Pokemon Go as a phone game, but I'm living in the city for that summer, and the city, you could get all this shit from Pokemon. You could get Pokemon, you could get items, you could get whatever. You go back to the suburbs, which I then moved back home after the summer, and it's like a dead zone. You got to go 2 towns over to get any of the
places. Right.
So I paid money. I paid like $50.
Yeah, I mean, New York was like ideal for Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it was like 2 totally different games.
I had the same resistance to it, Sebastian, which is like, I mean, the psychology, you just laid it bare, Robbie, which you're like, I had this embarrassing moment. I never wanted to play cell phone games, but then Pokemon Go comes out. It's different, right?
Yeah.
And their selling point was it's different. It's experiential.
It's the Wii.
You're going places, right? And for me, I have the same feeling you have, Sebastian, where I'm like, don't you fucking try to tell me you're fancy.
No, don't you dare. Know your place, okay, buddy?
I like fucking cell phone games because they're trash and I'm trash.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't you go putting a top hat on yourself and try to tell me you're a gentleman. Right? I'm like, be here with me. Be here. It's the same thing as like fucking apple slices at McDonald's. It's like, you want an apple slice? I go to a goddamn farmer's market. Give me some fries, you asshole.
If you said you got Wendy's and then you pulled out one of those citrus salads that they had, I would have came through the Zoom and hit you. Okay.
Right, if I wanted food, I would go to a restaurant. I went for a reason.
Wow. This, Griffin, I cannot believe how knowledgeable and fun this was to talk about this game. Can you plug the game one more time so everyone knows?
I mean, you sold me. I'm going to start. I'm getting back into my... You know how many times I've been on the subway? Like, I should just download a game. I mean, I need to just get back into the... And I've stayed strong, but I think I'm going to break it, download this game.
I'll say this too. They used to be worse about this, but now they're a lot better. Another reason why I almost never spend real money on the game now. I mean, I don't think I've done it, period, in a while now. They now recycle. They bring them back. The limited ones, they used to be truly like, it's only available now. So you'd have that feeling of like, fuck, if I don't spend $5 right now, I'm never, ever going to get Captain Jack Sparrow, right? Bad example. He wasn't limited. The villains are the ones that are usually pretty limited, right? Kylo Ren or whatever, right?
This is good. I just agree. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm doing pretty good for only knowing half the words that you said during this podcast. Huh, Griff?
Maleficent.
Oh, Maleficent. I know her. She's got the horns.
Exactly.
Sexy lady with the horns. I know her.
Fuck, if I don't get Maleficent now, I'm never going to get her. Now it's like, oh, it might only pop up once or twice a year. But you know there's like a cycle of things coming back. Disney Emoji Blitz, developer is Jam City. Let's just say, look, you're looking for a Disney Emoji Blitz influencer.
I have an important question.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead,
if
Robbie.
somebody were to join Disney Emoji Blitz, could they put you that you referred them, and would you get any currency for that?
Ooh, I don't think that's an option.
Okay.
I don't think that's an option. I will say this. This is the thing that's fucked me. Like one of the ways you can make good coinage is like the leaderboard of who had the highest scores for the last week. And they put you on a leaderboard of other friends of yours on the game, which they link through Facebook. So now that I have a Facebook account with 0 friends, I have to play against AIs all week, and the AIs do really well. I used to fucking ream everyone else in the game. I was getting #1 top score every week.
Yeah.
Now it's like, Jack. You know, and it's like some fucking computer face.
So well, maybe we'll add Sniff and Pooman on Facebook.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe we all need to be friends on my fake Facebook.
And you will wax us because I'm more of a quantity over quality with games.
If people want to play with you on that game, can they friend Sniff and Pooman? Only for the game, no content.
I'm going to allow it, and I will say I can't believe I'm doing this. This is huge, but only because this is the topic of this episode. Sniffin' Claude Pooman.
Wow, we got it.
We got the full name.
Claude, you were holding out. That's how we would never have found you.
That's how you're never gonna find it. Sniffin' Claude Pooman.
I mean, you're getting a friend request.
But I'll say this. Of course, I will accept from both of you guys. But I will say, if a listener friends me and then I don't see them on the leaderboard for Emoji Blitz, and it turns out they were friending me, you're out. You're unfriended.
That's beautiful.
I'm looking for people I can beat on the leaderboard.
I hope that people join you. I actually really hope hotties show up for me.
Yeah.
Go play with Griffin a little bit, okay?
Yeah, let's play Disney Emoji Blitz.
Let me see. Let me tell you. I'm
excited to be honest.
New emojis I've gotten recently.
I was gonna buy PS5 just because but I might not even need to
No.
anymore.
No, and I feel like this is a game where you can get a lot of value out of it. Without
I also love
spending
Disney,
money.
so the idea
Yeah.
of getting Disney emojis excites me.
I mean, here, look, this is just like, so there's like the recommended screen. You can't really see it,
I
right?
can't really say.
No.
But there's like a recommended screen of just
Uh-huh.
like either characters you've been using a lot lately or characters who would help you with the specific missions you have to do right now. And right now, my recommended screen, I'll just speed round through this. Genie, Sexy Fox Robin Hood,
Wow.
Wow.
Snow White, Anger from Inside Out, Oogie Boogie
Don't know who that is.
from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, okay. Yes, the bigger person.
Yes. The Magic Mirror, Mirror on the Wall.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Some deep cuts.
Deep.
Dopey.
Wow. We're
Lilo.
classics.
Lilo.
Wow.
What about fucking Ian Barley from Onward, one of the first victims of the pandemic?
Wow.
Went
Yes.
to premium VOD early. What about fucking Maui from Moana? What about
Fire.
Tamatoa, the shiny crab from Moana? I got a
Yes.
special holiday Mickey wearing a Santa hat.
Ugh.
And then I have Kronk and Yzma from Emperor's New Groove. That's just like, that's my top, what is it? My top 15 right now.
Phenomenal.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
Yeah, I'm sold.
I'm happy you did not come on here and talk about crystal meth or something because
Me
you
too.
would have. I would have been smoking by the end of this episode. You are a salesman, Griffin.
Can I just also say, if it's not clear enough, I really need to get that vaccine. I clearly need to fucking get out.
Actually, Griffin, Disney's gonna make it so you're the last person to get it because
Somehow.
you're keeping them alive.
It's the opposite of a pre-existing condition.
Post-existing. Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
talking about the conditions that have existed after.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, you
This
can just
is
stay home
started.
playing this fucking game on the toilet all day. Why do you need this vaccine?
Griffin, this was beautiful. Do you
This
have
was
anything that
beautiful.
you want to plug?
George Lucas Talk Show, Sundays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Planet Scum.
They get such cool guests. You
I was
must
gonna
check it out.
say, I realized this too late when we moved on from the subject, but we had Kevin Smith on the show. He was on the show for like 2 hours. He was our only guest.
I
if
watched
you're
it.
A hottie, if you're a listener to this show, that's probably a good intro episode for you to get into the show.
100%.
But the thing I would say, it's hard to pitch to people, but the show genuinely is not just for Star Wars fans.
No,
It sounds like it is. It very much turns into its own weird thing. And very often we don't talk about Star Wars at all.
No.
Kevin Smith
Yeah.
episode, we talk about Star Wars a lot, but through the prism of his fandom and how much Star Wars has meant in his work and whatever.
Yes.
But we had Whoopi Goldberg on the show recently. We've all
Amazing.
sorts of wild people on. Yeah.
I mean, you're pulling A-list celebrities.
Yeah,
On the show.
Patrick Cottner, baby.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Great. So everyone, please go check out George Lucas Talk Show. Connor is so funny. Fucking Griffin's amazing.
Funniest person on the planet. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a great show. I can't wait to fucking see them two back live. I loved watching that show live. I loved.
We also need to get you on the web show. I'm realizing now we're long overdue in doing that.
Well, I mean, I don't know much about Star Wars, so I understand.
Many of our guests don't. Yeah.
Well, let me know. Of course, I love all three of you. Robbie, do you want to plug anything?
yeah, just keep listening to the podcast. Keep calling in. Loud about nothing.
Beautiful. I love that plug.
Follow
Robbie.
us on Instagram.
I love that plug.
Circular
Yes.
plug.
I'm gonna plug.
Thing that people just listen to.
Ready? You know what I'm gonna plug? Loud about nothing. Okay.
Wow.
Crazy.
I actually
This project I'm working on. Yeah.
I forgot. I have one other thing I'd love to plug.
Of course, Griffin.
I recently did an episode of this podcast called Loud About Nothing, where we
Beautiful.
talked about
Fuck
cell
yeah.
phones. And I
Good.
think
Please
it was
listen to it.
I think it's a fun listen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. It's a journey. It's a
Yes.
journey. I think
Yes.
it's a real journey.
Into madness.
You leave and you go, wow, I feel like I learned so much, but all this information is not useful.
Yeah, I feel like I saw in your eyes tonight your entire perception of me change several times.
You know what? For the better.
Look.
For the better. I needed you to be a little sicker for me.
But I feel like you and I love each other pretty unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
And I take a lot of responsibility for this, but I feel like we don't stay as regularly in touch as we should.
No.
But whenever we're there, we go fucking deep, and I feel like we always find new things about each other that bring us closer together. Anytime we talk, on mic or off.
And this is it now.
Yeah. Now I'm fucked up.
Now I know you knew I was fucked up already, so I'm happy. Well, I'm happy that you're in the club. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the most attentive I've ever seen Sebastian, is when you were talking about how to get these I don't know, like mine the coins and do. I've never seen him this close to the screen.
This could have been an episode of Clubhouse.
Silent. It was like, I've never seen him like that.
This is
so.
I told you this was a lesson. My brain, I felt like I took an Adderall right now. Okay.
What if this is my master class?
Yeah.
Yes. This might be your master.
Yeah, this might be phenomenal. My master class. Yeah.
Because they're doing everything. They got fucking Jane Goodall talking how to talk to chimps.
Yeah.
They're just letting shit fly over there. So Griffin,
let's also make it clear. Technically, you don't need to be taught how to talk to chimps. I mean, they need to be taught how to listen. Anyone can talk to a chimp.
That's a great point. That's a good point.
Like,
I don't go up to them. I go, I forgot. How do I do this?
What do I say?
Yeah. I'm nervous. Yeah.
What's the icebreaker? You know, she's
not
telling
it doesn't
me.
matter. They might not listen. They might not understand what you're saying, but you can say anything.
Yeah, you open with a compliment. You know, you find some common ground. Maybe you repeat the last 3 words that they said. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe don't ask too many questions. Maybe don't put them on the spot.
No. And if you do ask him a leading question, the chimpanzee. All right. This has been Loud About Nothing. This is beautiful. I just want to say we love all you hotties out there. Please keep rating 5 stars, writing reviews on iTunes. Robbie, hit the fucking music.